But let's reflect quickly. There's a lot of contestation, if you like, about the 30 years. The reality is it's a mixed bag. So anybody with both extremes, the one who says all is honky-dory, everybody's at Intualo, that's wrong. The same way the ones who are saying nothing has happened, things are better than before apartheid, that's also wrong. The truth lies somewhere here in the middle. Let's start with the era under Mandela. If we were to look at our categorize our eras according to the leadership. During the Mandela era, it was a bout of euphoria. Issues of reconciliation will top the agenda. A lot of issues that are controversial, such as land and property, took a back seat. And we are looking at structuring the constitution, which was eventually adopted in 1996. It is something of a feat, especially that a lot of people have written this country off as a candidate for a bloodbath, saying that people are killing each other. I was in the UK in 1993, and I was people that say, hey, your country is it's a bloodbath. People are killing each other with asehai. I said, no, man, it's a small piece of a country. The country has 9 provinces, and then people are busy killing each other in something called KwaZulu-Natal. It won't affect the elections. They didn't believe me, of course. But of course, as an eternal optimist, I also in my heart was hoping it doesn't affect the elections at that point. So that era of Mandela represented that euphoria, that reawakening, that embracing of a new era. And so you could say that's the good part of our democracy. I mean, there were small things here and there. Mandela called black journalists and told them not to write under the instruction of whites. Just a bizarre thing. I mean, you just thought, no, don't worry. It's not like that at all. And then, of course, there was the arms deal that happened under that era. But other than that, a wonderful presidency, and he did something that doesn't happen often in the continent, which is to quit after one term. People were surprised. Hey, man, are you sure you want to? Yeah, no. I'm done 5 years. Let Mbeki take over. And of course, then the Mbeki era also, where the big agenda here was transformation. This is where we saw the birth of BEE. I think they should have gone much, much further, especially because there was a recommendation, a clear recommendation in black and white from the TRC, saying white companies, particularly the ones that have dominated the South, must pay a wealth tax. No, let them do it voluntarily. Look at what it has gotten us now. The white companies couldn't give a hoot about your transformation because they were given too much of a free hand to do as they pleased in terms of reparation. People are still waiting for justice after the TRC. Right? Of course, Mbeki also put the African agenda on the map. Kudos to him for forming the likes of NEPAD, the likes of the African peer review mechanism. Truly a big legacy in that regard. But of course, the big stench was the whole issue of the AIDS denialism. That's a big stench. Some 300,000 people dying on our watch because we were dilly-dallying instead of confronting the HIV/AIDS monster head-on. But other than that, what a fantastic presidency there. Economy growing, fantastic run in the economy. We have never seen such growth of 5% in years. And of course, thank you to Mbeki's successor, Jacob Zuma, who plunged the economy growth to 0. Literally, because we wasn't joke around, 0.1, it's just 0. The economy wasn't growing for 0. Even as we speak now, even after they revise the target, it will still be 0 point something. That's the pure evidence you need for whether those years were wasted. We don't need to have any complicated statistic. You only have to look at unemployment rate that we have. You only have to look at the hunger rate, people living under the bread line, to realize that the gains made in the first 15 years of democracy were reversed. Of course, we must give credit to Jacob Zuma on his last day in office. After being in office for 9 years, in his last day, at least he left us with free education. I think that one we must agree, because the ANC had taken the resolution as far back as 2007 to say there must be free education. It took Zuma watching his term of office ending to say, I'm signing now, there must be free education now. Let's park the issue about the NSFAS and the corruption and the fact that they just made a mess of the whole thing. They must just give the students directly that money and just transfer straight to the universities. We have already seen, we don't need any more proof that NSFAS is a mess. And then come CR17, big dreams, big hope. Tumamina, please send me. And the question we must ask is, Utumekile na? Ramaphosa. And you will answer that question on the 29th of May. A lot of investment pledges, we must give that to him. Very, very good. And I think that that is something that is a seed that we need to plant, because you can forget, you can have all dreams you want. As long as you don't have foreign direct investment, you've got to be joking about growing the economy. So as we assess our 30 years, we should be saying, how do we make the 30 years count? And of course, the big stench in this particular administration is the fact that you've got a thick 5-volume report of the state capture listing all sorts of crooks who to this day, not one of them is in chains, not one of them is in orange overalls. And there's always a justification. 5 years ago, we appointed the National Director of Public Projects, and it was a big song and dance. This guy thinks are going to be better, crooks are going to go to jail. I'm still waiting for just one solitary crook, one. And I'm not talking about a small fish here. I'm talking about big fish. You must give me a big fish, and then I'll believe you. If I see a big fish in prison, then I'll believe that the NPA has sort of broken the shackles of its capture. But unfortunately, right now, we have a lawless country because people think, if these politicians can get away with it, why can't I get away with it? It's not the habit that falls from the sky. It's monkey do, monkey, what is it? Monkey say, monkey do. You know the phrase. That's what is happening in this country. So stuff that are spoiling the big celebration we should be having, that says 98% of this country has access to water, electricity, 3 to 4 million houses were built for people who would never afford it. Those are issues we must celebrate. But equally, we must be able to say to our leaders, you can do better. Because your standard is not the apartheid government. Your standard is a morally high standard for which so many people have died, for which so many people have sacrificed. So, happy birthday, South Africa.